What's up, you guys? It's Bimo. I want to talk about how you guys can increase and convert more sales when it comes to your occupation and profession. I think one of the major things that people face is that they're talking about the same product, they're talking about the same clientele, they're talking about like the greatest solution they can offer when it comes to their problem, and different results are varying. One of my mentors actually shared with me that what the funny thing is, we're in the same industry, we're in the same company, we sell the same product, but people have different various results and incomes when it comes to the sales profession community. I think if I really look at the professionals or people who are doing really well, they actually have mastered the process. You know, they go to A to Z all the time, start to finish without skipping a beat. The greatest example I can give you is like, you don't want to put the flour at the end. You don't want to put the eggs at the end. Basically, you want to do a process that actually works from start to finish, or a segment that actually flows so you can actually convert. Because really what people don't see when people say they got to think about it, it's too expensive, the numbers just don't make sense, is that there's not enough value that being stacked consecutively as the process has been going on, and they can't justify out their wallet, justify with $1 that they can purchase it based on the process that you guys shared. You want to start with rapport, and depending on what kind of business situation is, there's some people who just don't really care about the rapport. They just want to go straight into business, which is fine. But probably 8 out of 10 people want to build rapport with you, make sure you're credible as well, and have like a good, outstanding business that's backing up with a good reputation along with it, right? So you can build trust and credibility when it comes to your whole process. So I always recommend starting with rapport, build a little trust, make a friend, and go from there. Second of all is that you want to discover some of the things, the problems that they are facing. So obviously we're here for a reason. What brought you in today? What some things that you're hoping to accomplish this meeting? What some things have you done in the past that hasn't worked for you? What some things that you're hoping to gain, or what some things that you heard that was bad about the program? With some services that you got similar that made you hesitate if you said previously? What some things have made you hesitate to move forward if you sat down with similar programs or looked into similar products as well, right? So you have a better understanding what they're going through, what they're looking at, and what kind of perspective they have as well. So let's say, oh yeah, I've heard bad things about this and that. I heard this weight program was gonna take a lot of time, but you don't lose weight. Okay. Instead of moving forward with the next question, you can ask, okay, what some of the diets have you done in the future? What made you think has prevented you from losing weight? You want to go second layer level, deeper levels to understand when they talk about something so you can have a better understanding. And one of the common things a lot of people face is when they do the discovery or try to find the problem, they'll try to overcome the objections right there as soon as they give the question to the salesperson or the sales professional, which is yourself. What I want you to do is step back from answering right away just because you have so much experience and you know pretty much all the objections and know how to handle it. It's just listen to them, take it in one at a time, just have a better understanding, ask more questions, and get an understanding of like a whole perspective of like, what is this client looking at, or what's some of the perspective this client says, of what's kind of client that I've set out similar that could give us some outcome to this person if that's what they're looking for. So it's very important for you to just have good questions and get a better understanding of the prospect and just actively listen to it. Once you feel like you have got enough information, it is okay to go back to the discovery as to go through the process, right? And as long as you feel like grabbed enough questions, discover more in the future as the process goes on, is that you talk about your intent, your agenda. What some things are you going to do over the presentation? So thank you, Mr. Customer. Thank you for taking the time to sit down with me. What I want to talk about is basically your second option currently versus what you're doing right now versus what we could offer you a better or upgrade your lifestyle. I'm going to go over the program. I'm going to go over some of the concerns that you had, why you haven't lost weight, even though you enjoy the program. What's some things that are different with us versus the competition? What's some things that haven't worked with you that we could implement? I want to also talk about how you done this and that, and why so many other people heard bad things but end up choosing us as well. So I'm actually gathering my intent, using my intent based on what I heard from the actual discovery and some of the problems or concerns that they have, and addressing it within the intent. I'm going to show you how the program works, why so many people choose us, what's going to schedule look like or the plan look like, and then ultimately I will show you the price, or what I like to say is the damage. just to get a little laugh and get some giggles into it, drop their guard a little bit. And at the end, I say, does that sound fair? Get a complaint, get a yes, get some interaction. Then you're going to pretty much talk about the problem. So you're going to go over, okay, this is some of the problems that you're facing right now, right? And address it, and you want to bring it in. But you don't want to talk about the program so much. You want to pretty much dig in their pain, or what some benefits that you're getting off by just premising what the program that you are right now. If you don't do anything, this is what it's going to be happening. This is the cost. This is how much weight you're going to get, and this is where you're currently at, and this is where it's going to continue to lead on. What you can do is do this, and this is what the program allows you to do. You can lose weight. You can have more time with your loved ones. You talk about actually what they want, and what are some of the things that you find in discovery, what they hope to gain, and using that with the product and the benefits that come along with it. So you can actually marinate and actually custom tailor it, the conversation based on what you guys have. So they feel like, all right, this program is actually tailored to me and more personalized. So you have a better interaction and just this amazing engagement, and also this click that happens to the customer as well. So you want to talk about things like urgency as well. Like, so how soon do you want to do the program? How soon did you want to accomplish this goal that you want? Is there any reason why you want to wait on doing this? Would you be opposed to upgrading your life sooner? These like closing questions, getting the commitment and getting the understanding. Would you be opposed to moving forward as long as everything made sense and we addressed all the questions that you had, and pretty much get those commitments and get those urgency, talking about how I can't like coach everyone. Like I can't coach 100 million people. I have limited spots available. I need to personalize this and custom tailor it. And I do one projects at a time as long as my time is available. This is how much spots I have. If I had a spot available, how soon did you want to do it? Because I don't know when the next time I can talk about that urgency, that fear. And if I don't have a spot available, I won't be able to talk to you until the next couple of months, or even a month, or even get you on board till days down the line. Why would you even want to wait for that, right? So you get a better understanding of what the situation is and the urgency. And as long as you build enough pain, give you feedback, give you an open communication on what they want to do at the end. And I always want to show price at the end. I don't know what this thing where showing price in the beginning actually ever happened. I personally don't do it. The only time, right, if you ever want to show a price on something, it's like towards the middle, or maybe towards close to the end, if the person has sat down like 6 or 7 consultations or presentations similar within your industry or with a similar range within their product. That's the only time I'll do it. But I will, even if they sat down, I won't even show them till the very end, because all you want to do is go to A to Z all the time, right? You want to master the process. So one of the common things I always want to address, even if they bring some objections or bring some points in the presentation that you know are really good questions or it's going to be addressed, I want you to take it in and say, you know what, that's a really great question, Mr. Customer. It's actually, I'm going to get into that pretty soon. Just bear with me, but that's a great question. And just keep on going with the process, because if you keep on answering on certain parts that are out of order, and the customer is just going to ask you what's the price, and they're going to justify the value based on what they think and what they saw versus the full value stack and can do, which what we call is the value ladder. So I always recommend people just go on A to Z, don't ask for the beat, and you will see a very tremendous conversion on just able to stay in control, because whoever asks questions and stay in control wins the game all the time. But if I was the game of sales, so I recommend people just stay in control. Whatever rebuttals that you get, if you know it's going to be answered in the presentation, and build it with the presentation, and based on your discovery, you should put points where it solves the solution as you go through the process. And you want to ask as much questions as well. Don't assume it. Don't be that guy who just goes into the presentation what you think is the program is going to solve, or where the person falls in the bracket of. You want to ask them, get feedback, get this interaction so it feels like more of a conversation rather than a sales process for them. Because ultimately the reason why they buy it, it's not because of the product, it's not because how it looks, or it's not because what they can solve, even though it does. It's ultimately they buy it because of you. You're the greatest product, you're the greatest solution when it comes to why they're gonna get it. So take pride in it and never under assume or over assume. Always be in that mellow, happy medium, never too high, never too low, and be in a cruise control, not only when it comes to your customer, but your emotions as well. And you will see a high and increase on your sales as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy selling.